I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 276. Questioner. From my own level of understanding, I consider myself and my son to be real. Maharshi. The birth of the I thought is one's own birth. Its death is the person's death. After the I thought has arisen, the wrong identity with the body arises. Thinking yourself the body, you give false values to others and identify them with bodies. Just as your body has been born, grows, and will perish, so also you think the other was born, grew up, and died. Did you think of your son before his birth? The thought came after his birth and persists even after his death. Inasmuch as you are thinking of him, he is your son. Where has he gone? He has gone to this source from which he sprang. He is one with you. So long as you are, he is there too. If you cease to identify yourself with the body, but see the real self, this confusion will vanish. You are eternal. The others will similarly be found to be eternal. Until this truth is realized, there will always be this grief due to false values arising from wrong knowledge and wrong identity. Let me have true knowledge by Sri Bhagavan's grace. Maharshi, get rid of the I thought. So long as I is alive, there is grief. When I ceases to exist, there is no grief. Consider the state of sleep. Yes, but when I take to the I thought, other thoughts arise and disturb me. Maharshi, see whose thoughts they are. They will vanish. They have their root in the single I thought. Hold to it, and they will disappear. The questioner begins by expressing her perception of reality based on her understanding. She sees herself and her son as real entities, saying, I consider myself and my son to be real. Ramana Maharshi responds by talking about the nature of the I thought and its implications on identity and perception. Ramana Maharshi begins by saying that the birth of the I thought is your own birth, and its cessation is your death. The birth and death that Ramana speaks of is the rise and fall of the I thought. The you Ramana talks about is the ego I, which is really just imagined. The I thought rises and falls within you, the being and consciousness that you are, and that is the universe. Ramana explains that once the I thought rises, it leads to a false identification with the body, which then results in assigning an incorrect sense of reality to this individual ego I. This identification with the body leads to the perception of others as separate entities with their own births, lives, and deaths. Ramana questions the questioner's attachment to her son, asking whether she thought of her son before his birth. Ramana sounds like a man saying that. A woman knows that she started identifying with her baby from the time she first felt it quickening. He explains that the thought of the son emerged only after his birth, really his quickening, and continues even after his physical death. From the discussion, it seems that the son is deceased. Ramana emphasizes that the son has returned to the source from which he originated and is essentially one with the woman. This presages his later response to a devotee grieving and feeling loss about Ramana's coming body death. He said, "Where can I go?" Source returns to source, from which it was never separate. Thus, as long as the questioner exists, so does her son. Moreover, Maharshi says that the root cause of grief and confusion lies in the erroneous identification with the body and consequent false reality attributed to yourself and others. He reassures her that realizing the eternal nature of the self as herself and transcending the identification with the body will dispel this confusion and sorrow. When she expresses her desire for true knowledge, Ramana advises her to eliminate the I thought. He explains that as long as the sense of I persists, grief remains. However, when the I ceases to exist, grief also disappears. The I thought is the root of the mind, and since the mind orients every other thought in relation to this primal I thought, it then is both the base and the limit of every other thought. When the I thought is dispelled, its influence on other thoughts ceases, and you see reality, not the mind's picture of reality. Maharshi then guides her to observe the origin of other thoughts. Where do they come from? Revealing that they stem from the primary I thought. By holding on to the root thought, the I thought, all other thoughts will dissolve. This dialogue shows Ramana Maharshi's teachings on the nature of the I thought, the illusion of identity tied to the body, and the path of liberation through self-inquiry and dispelling the ego. It emphasizes the importance of realizing the eternal self and dispelling false identifications to attain true knowledge and freedom from suffering. So inquire, know yourself, and be always free and at peace. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment